You're listening to Misery Loves Company, coming to you live at youtube.com/MLC Podcast.
I want to drink and drive. I want to get a hooker.
I have to ask, as someone who knows nothing about comedy, what is so appealing about this offer of touring? Is the money really that great that everyone is willing to?
No, it's not even touring. It's just going to middle America, mediocre, small town, small clubs for a very small sum of money. It's psychotic. This
is one of the things I was talking about last week that makes no sense to me, that giving something with so little value is seen as like a reason to.
Yeah, then you come back to Cleveland like, I'm this road comic. It's
No,
this place.
Stevie,
And then all of a sudden everybody wants to like.
Speak as a professional comic. Okay, here's what happens. As a city comic, you do 15-minute sets. On the road, you do half hour, 45 minutes, an hour. You're always better off doing more time. Especially when you're starting out, because when you're forced to do more time, you're forced to create more jokes. That's a fact. So there's some guys who never leave New York City and they do the same 15 minutes forever. So I was on the road because I was forced to stretch my act. And I used to like, I need jokes. I'm desperate for jokes. And then you're desperate for jokes. When you're not desperate, you won't. You'll watch the fucking game because you know you got 15 minutes for the six sets. So that's one reason why I'm on the road. But guys who live on the road, that's a tour like because the money sucks, and you just want to be in New York City, getting on TV. So there's a lot of the guys on the road, and a lot of drinking and drugs because you're miserable, and then you're trying to fuck fat girls, and so you're getting coke and stuff because you're just trying to anything to like make it interesting when you're a road comic. So Ray Vito, he drives from Cleveland. From Cleveland to New York City, just because out of boredom. He's got nothing else going on. So being a road comic is terrible. Go ahead, Stevie.
Also, as a New York City road comic, you'd work the city Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you'd do the road Thursday through Sunday. So you'd have the home base so that you could do both.
Yeah,
when you came back.
Yeah, but most comics don't have that. Most comics don't do Monday. Like Mark Norman, Mark Norman does Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then he goes on the road. But most comics, like when I started, the only comics that really got road stuff steady was like Geraldo once he was on a Tough Crowd or a Tell. Like in most city comics, unless you're going to sell tickets, you're not going to get a lot of road work.
Well, especially the weekday, because most road cities don't have shows on Wednesday.
I'm just telling you, I'm a professional.
Right, we're not arguing.
I mean,
and I also was in the comedy.
No, but I'm a
profession
professional.
as well.
I'm a professional. So I'm saying as a professional, it'd be like you telling the doctor what's wrong with.
Well, no, because I'm a younger generation comic, so I have maybe more of an outlook on how it worked in the 2015, 2016, 2017.
Ideally, you're on the road every weekend, and then you do the city. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right. But when I started, most people couldn't road gigs because they weren't known. You know, most guys do the road and they went for times. The only way you get people to the Midwest for the most part is to become a national touring act. And back then, now it's easier with Rogan and shows like podcast. But for the most part, you just take road gigs. I would take road gigs and stretch my act. But the guys who are on the road all the time, they lose their fucking minds. They live in the cars, they live in shitty hotels, they eat like shit, they all get sick. It's a fucking miserable life.
It's a status thing too, Doc. It's a status thing. If you could say you're a road comic, that puts you one step above the guy who's not a road comic.
Wait, why did Shuli do it, Mr. Kill?
To go hang out with Anthony Kumi on a stream, didn't he? That was a month
but you guys are talking about arbitrary cases. I mean, nobody brags about being a road comic, Stevie. Like Ray DeVito says it, but he's a fucking idiot. Nobody brags about it. In 2024, nobody brags about the road. Nobody wants to be that. Nobody brags that they're a shitty road comic making $400 a week.
First of all, you have to have a car to be a road comic, or know somebody who has a car that'll come on a road.
Anyone can have a car,
and not a lot of people in New York City have a car.
Well, you can still get a car. It's not expensive. You can get a car and be a shitty road comic. Anybody can. Ray DeVito gets shitty road gigs. No one's impressed by that. Nobody's impressed by a guy who says he's a road comic.
Yeah, but I mean, to take it a step lower, anybody can be a fucking New York City comedian. Look at me.
Not making a living.
But how are you going to get there to making a living? You can't just drop into comedy and just start making a living. You have to eat shit. You have to go through the road.
You don't know what you're talking about. I was a professional comic. Okay. I was a New York City comic. I worked my way up through the clubs, and I got TV. Then I would get spots in the city clubs, but I still couldn't get work on. I couldn't get road gigs because I wasn't known as a road comic. I wasn't from the Midwest. I didn't have any connections with the local club. So you're living in some fantasy where it's like what you think you heard. I lived it.
What do you mean?
Okay,
again, I think
you're not a comic. You're not a comic.
Okay, again, all right. Now you're
not. Show me your 1099s. Did you make a living as a comic in any
but
year?
I performed stand-up for years in New York City, and I got paid to do that. So
and
what
you
the
made
fuck
a
is
living
now?
at you
So
made a living.
please tell me what your definition then.
You make a living as a comic.
I could show you my W-2s, my 10, whatever the fuck, the 1099s.
Living as a comic.
We've gone over this before. I was working. I was working a full-time job when I started producing at Compound, and then I quit that job for 2 years and only performed comedy in New York City as a thing. Okay, so that's how I do at the stand one night. You know, I was performing down at the Repair. I was performing all over the area. And there are a lot of stages and just the Comedy Cellar and the there's a whole huge amount of stages in Manhattan.
What's your point?
All I'm saying is that while I was doing that, and I was performing multiple times every night throughout the city, you would hear these dumb fucks brag about being road comics, or trying to be like, oh, hey, you have a car? I can get us gigs out in fucking Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, or wherever the fuck shit town that road comics go to, you know? And it's like, if I had a car, I could have got those gigs, but I didn't, you know? And then fucking stopped doing comedy.
You're saying you didn't have $500 for a car?
No, you're saying absolutely. I could not afford a car, man.
$500.
Yeah.
So you're saying if you had a car, you could be a road comic?
Yes, 100%. Matter of fact, people who have cars get booked for road gigs as just a
you don't know
driver.
What you're talking about. First of all, you get a zip car for $100.
You have to have credit to apply to get a zip car. You're not understanding how shitty the lives are of the majority of comedians.
You have credit to get a zip car?
I could, but I was comedy no more, and I wouldn't want to fucking put all that money out for the little money you make.
How about when you did comedy? Why didn't you get a zip car then?
Because I had no problem getting on stage in New York City or Jersey City. It was cheap. I was making great money. That's why I went back and got a real job. I don't know what my point is. I was just telling you that people in New York City in the comedy scene, they put that idea of being a road comic as like a notch up. Like a guy who has a commercial, a comedian who's been in a fucking TV commercial, that puts that person one notch above everyone who has had that. What I mean, yeah, TV commercial. Yeah, but literally that'll get someone a notch over everyone else. You know, like the king shit because they got a fucking commercial. Just like someone who's a road comic, like afraid to act like they're king shit.
Stevie, nobody cares about road comics in 2024. Nobody does. I mean, you're dealing with like open micers who think that's impressive. It's not. Nobody thinks that.
Sure.
I mean, you're dealing with people who think Ray DeVito something. Ray DeVito is not anything. Ray DeVito's not even a road comic. He doesn't get any road gigs.
All true here.
He's on the road, but he doesn't get any gigs.
I'm not specifically talking just about Ray though. You know.
You're talking about people no one's ever heard of and nobody ever will hear of.
It's not true, man. That's not true. The people that I work with, Eagle Wit. Eagle Wit is a decent comedian. Oh, shit. Are you there? Eagle Wit's a decent comedian. And that's a guy that I used to work with at like the Grizzly Pear or at the Soho Playhouse before he got passed and then is now working Vegas, working everywhere. So
Vegas? Wait, was he working Vegas?
No, he goes out and does long stands out.
He works the Comedy Cellar in Vegas.
Okay, that's
another gig. You know? That's another gig.
That's a guy who like worked his way up.
He's not good. He's not good. He's not going to go anywhere in comedy. Next. I'll suck your dick.